The Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Cheops, is considered the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and the only one that has survived to this day. According to traditional belief, the Great Pyramid was not only a tomb for Pharaoh Cheops, but also a symbol of the connection between heaven and earth. Its precise alignment with the cardinal points is a fascinating enigma. The 4 sides of the pyramid are almost perfectly aligned with the cardinal directions.
Lost places. Remote viewing. Research. Expeditions. Paranormal. Supported by Into the Matrix. Remote viewing. Three women. The TrueWoMen Show.
At the edge of the endless desert, just a few kilometers from the bustling metropolis of Cairo, rises one of humanity's greatest and most enigmatic wonders, the Pyramids of Giza. For millennia, they have defied wind and sand, captivating visitors from around the world. Among all these monumental structures, one stands out in particular, the Great Pyramid of Giza, an architectural masterpiece that fascinates not only with its imposing size, but also with its mysterious history. The Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Cheops, is considered the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and the only one that has survived to this day. According to prevailing theory, it was built during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom of Egypt, around 2600 BC, under Pharaoh Cheops. Originally, it reached a height of 146.6 meters. Due to erosion and the loss of its gleaming limestone casing, it now measures approximately 138 meters. With a base area of 230 meters on each side and about 2.3 million limestone blocks weighing up to 2.5 tons each. It stands as an impressive testament to early engineering prowess. According to traditional belief, the Great Pyramid was not only a tomb for Pharaoh Cheops, but also a symbol of the connection between heaven and earth. Its precise alignment with the cardinal points is a fascinating enigma. The 4 sides of the pyramid are almost perfectly aligned with the cardinal directions, with a deviation of less than 0.05 degrees. This raises questions. Did the ancient Egyptians possess advanced astronomical knowledge? Some theories suggest that the pyramid was not only a tomb, but also served as an astronomical observatory. The so-called star theory posits that certain shafts within the pyramid are aligned with important stars such as Sirius or the Orion Belt, indicating that the builders had a deep understanding of the heavens. Despite centuries of research, the pyramid still harbors many unsolved riddles. How did the ancient Egyptians manage to construct such a colossal structure with such incredible precision? Were ramps used, or were other, as yet unknown methods employed? Some alternative theories speculate that the pyramid may have been built by an earlier civilization or served a different purpose than commonly believed. The remote viewers from Into the Matrix have explored this question. Their findings, which could offer new perspectives on the construction and purpose of the pyramid, are presented at the end of this video. The interior of the Great Pyramid is as impressive as its exterior and holds numerous secrets. The most well-known chambers are the King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, and the Grand Gallery. The King's Chamber, composed of massive granite blocks, houses an empty sarcophagus whose purpose remains disputed. The Grand Gallery, a long, narrow passage with an impressive ceiling height, exhibits remarkable architectural precision. Additionally, there are narrow shafts that may have served astronomical or ritual purposes. The exact function of many of these structures remains the subject of intense scientific debate.
To uncover more about the mysteries of the Great Pyramid of Giza, we commissioned the remote viewers from Into the Matrix for a comprehensive investigation. 8 viewers participated in this project, approaching the subject from 2 different perspectives. While one group focused specifically on the construction of the pyramid, the other explored its original purpose and additional relevant information. The insights gained offer a fascinating glimpse into one of the most enigmatic structures in human history. The first viewer perceived male beings with dark hair and head coverings. One of them stood upright but swayed as if struggling to maintain balance. It was positioned on a thin, light grey, smooth and moving surface that was narrow and tapered to a point. This object moved quickly but did not touch the ground, instead appearing to be suspended on an air cushion. The surroundings consisted of a tunnel-like structure with smooth grey walls resembling a hollow tube. A pulse-like energy flowed through this space but was disrupted by the presence of objects. The second viewer perceived an activity involving beings that took place in the air, with machines and moving structures providing support. Not every being was capable of participating. It clearly required courage. Height seemed to be a critical factor, as landing on the ground caused unrest. The beings were positioned on a thin, rounded surface that was in motion, swaying horizontally in the wind. This movement directly affected them, making them appear almost weightless. The entire event was actively controlled and regulated. The third viewer perceived an activity in which 2 different beings worked together as a team. One being controlled the other. A head covering was also worn in this context. The activity required concentration and physical effort. While the first being took on a neutral, controlling role, the second was at the mercy of the situation and had to overcome a challenge. The controlling being felt superior and powerful, whereas the other experienced sadness and accepted it as its destiny. In the air, there were gliding objects with a technical exterior, similar in control to drones. The entire event took place in a natural green environment. The fourth viewer perceived 2 energetic processes. The first was hot, fast, and burning. Matter was stirred up and settled elsewhere. The second process involved a directed movement energy executed by beings. Some moved downward or into distant areas, while others appeared crushed, compressed, and under immense pressure. They struggled and seemed disoriented. At the same time, there were larger, imposing beings who acted actively and helpfully. They were dynamic, reached out, and supported others. The entire event was filled with intense activity. While some beings suffered, others assisted. A transparent barrier separated this turbulent area from a completely calm zone. Behind it, beings observed the events. They were protected and unaffected. When asked about the purpose of the process, the terms destruction, experiment, and redesign emerged. The beings behind the barrier had initiated the scenario. Their motivation appeared cunning and calculated. They analyzed behaviors, emotions, and responses to pressure, while the events were triggered by targeted energetic vibrations. To uncover more about the original significance of the pyramid, the following viewers began their sessions by perceiving the pyramid in its current state. Throughout the remote viewing process, they were instructed to gather information about its construction in the past and its original purpose. The first viewer perceived the pyramid as being connected to an energy source. It emitted a type of energy similar to a motor and moved through a vast space. At the time of its creation, there was a stream or river in the surrounding area. During this phase, a process appeared to take place, a flow of energy moving back and forth, radiating energy. Additionally, a small object or being was perceived, seemingly carrying out a task, as if something needed to be completed. The second viewer perceived a structure with a pyramid-shaped cap, tapering to a point, serving as a connection to the divine. The structure's original purpose was as a gathering place, storage facility, and protected repository. The surrounding landscape was once green and natural. During construction, brown-haired male workers were involved. There was also a broad, angular, metallic transport device, which was heavy and loaded from above. It was used for moving materials and was assisted by a tall, towering metallic structure with reinforced square elements. This aid was movable, made creaking noises during use, and lowered materials using a twisted, wire-like component, possibly an advanced technology at the time. The energy in the environment was described as hot, dense, and constantly in motion. The structure itself originally served as a shelter, while a separate tower was used as a lookout point for warnings. The third viewer perceived a rocky, hollow, and underground structure connected to an extensive tunnel system. Despite appearing uninhabited, an energy presence was felt within. Additionally, there was an impression of floating beings, radiating a helpful and positive presence. The structure appeared ancient and reminiscent of a treasure chamber. Its construction required physical exertion, with much of the labor done by hand and with considerable force. The fourth viewer perceived that the original function of the structure was linked to several other similar structures, possibly additional pyramids. The primary purpose was energy generation, with energy produced within the structure, allowing certain objects or elements to lift off the ground and move. A careful, controlled use of this energy was necessary. Beyond its energetic function, the structure also served as a hiding place and refuge. This viewer later conducted a second investigation using an extended remote viewing session in a trance state. He received information about hidden knowledge that was not meant to be accessible to humans and was deliberately blocked. This knowledge pertained to origin and homeland. The fifth viewer also employed extended remote viewing and perceived a vast underground facility with a highly advanced, almost futuristic atmosphere. A large curved roadway stretched through the space, along which massive aircraft-like objects were lined up. These rested on thin supports and featured rotor-like elements. The surroundings appeared abandoned and decayed, with dusty rooms, including a medical sanitary area and a guard post. During the session, the impression arose that this facility had once been associated with power and wealth. A time jump to an earlier period revealed a completely different landscape: green hills, water sources, and agricultural fields. The viewer perceived a stone slab engraved with symbols. When touched, these symbols produced different sensory impressions: a gentle energy flow, an internal movement, and a high-pitched tone. The symbols appeared linked to healing processes, though their exact function remained unclear. The perceptions of the remote viewers paint a picture of the Great Pyramid that goes far beyond conventional theories. Indications of advanced technologies, energetic processes, and the deliberate control of the construction process suggest that its origin and purpose may need to be reconsidered. During the construction of the pyramid, it became evident that, in addition to physical labor, machine-like tools, energetic movement processes, and floating platforms were used. Two groups of workers were involved, one controlling and superior, the other subjected to immense strain. The construction process was monitored and regulated. The original purpose of the pyramid appears to be linked to energy generation. The structure was part of a larger system and had the capability to release a form of energy, possibly enabling objects to levitate. At the same time, it served as a refuge or hiding place. The underground structures reveal a vast tunnel system within which aircraft-like objects and floating transport platforms were present. Pulse-like energy flows moved through the tunnels, while certain beings observed and influenced the events taking place. Another important factor is the ancient landscape. The perceptions indicate that during the pyramid's construction, the surrounding environment was green and fertile. There were flowing waters, hills, and agricultural fields. This contradicts the modern image of the pyramids as structures located in the middle of a dry desert, suggesting that the area once had entirely different climatic conditions. The results of the remote viewing sessions provide fascinating evidence that the Great Pyramid of Giza was far more than just an architectural structure. The combination of advanced technology, energetic applications, and deliberate oversight raises new questions. What role did the pyramid play within a possibly larger system? Who or what controlled the entire process? And could technologies have been used here that no longer exist within our current understanding? These insights invite us to view the Great Pyramid from a new perspective, as a structure that may conceal an even greater mystery.
One thing is certain. The truth is out there, and we are determined to find it. If you enjoyed our video, we would be very grateful for your support, as our work is donation-based. Feel free to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and look forward to another exciting episode of the TrueWoMen Show.
Women wake up.